Well, finally, it is here. We are ready to unbox it. It's not every day you get to unbox something from SpaceX themselves, so I'm very excited to see this thing in the flesh because I've seen it a lot in videos and pictures, but I have never once seen StarLink in person. The box, as you can tell, is enormous. Actually, I don't think I've unboxed anything this big on my channel before. I think the box is a tad taller than the iMac box, and it is very much taped up, so I'm gonna make sure to cut every piece of tape. I'm not sure if this is life-size, but I guess we're about to find out in a minute, aren't we? As a box collector myself, I admire how clean and minimal it is. And by the way, it did not come inside a larger piece of cardboard. Like, this is actually what the delivery guy was holding as he got off the truck. So, opens it up. So, let's see what happens when we open it this way. Ooh! Oh my goodness, instructions. They're the first thing you see. It's so intuitive. You have this enormous piece of paper. 3 steps. It could not be more simple. So as you can see, you point the thing outside, it connects to the satellite, and you plug in the router, and you connect to it with your phone. They literally could not make this more easy to understand, and I think everything's color-coded. Almost looks like nothing's in here. Look at all this plastic. Oh, I see. This part comes off. Ooh, holy crap. Oh my god, this is so cool looking. All right, so first things first, right on the top we have the tripod, which can hold this thing down. Pretty light, but still, yeah, it's definitely made of metal, which is good. And then we have the Cybertruck inspired router already plugged in, which I think should get some credit. It's a little dusty. I don't know how long this has been sitting in this box, but look at that router. Isn't that cool? And it gets power and Ethernet from the same port, which is awesome. This is a heavy duty like Ethernet plug-in cord. This stuff is durable, you can tell. That of course plugs into a box. You don't have to know about this stuff, but it's color coded, which I like, that they're smart about that type of thing. So we've got all this wiring. We've got, holy crap, a huge amount of cable. So yeah, there's only one thing to plug in. This powers both the StarLink dish and the router at the same time, which is pretty dope. But man, how do we get all of this out at the same time? We've got like 100 feet worth of cable. Man, this is thick cable too. Pretty durable stuff, it feels like. That's good, it's gonna go outside, so you want it to be a little more durable than your average power cord. It's all to the side for a second so that we can get to the main star of the show, the UFO itself. Woo! Whoa! Okay, it's got a big piece of, I think, white paper on it? I can't tell. Or no, that's actually what it looks like. No, that feels official. I probably shouldn't touch it. I'm just making sure it's clean. Nothing's on it. And as you can see, it's all being held up by this little stick here. This is pretty amazing. So essentially you put it outside, but it's very clean looking. I would say out of all like satellite dishes I've seen, you know, it's not like indented in the center, so you don't have to worry about snow or rain collecting in the middle, and it should orient itself automatically to point towards the sky. So I don't even have to adjust this, which is cool. The tripod part matches up with this part, and pinch in the little bolts on the end there. And then clicks in, just like that. We're already halfway there. Holy crap, this looks cool. This looks amazing. It's an interesting texture it's made out of. I thought it would be like glass. It's not glass though, it's something like more durable. Not sure how, but it looks amazing. Now, of course, we want to get it plugged in and outside. Let's see how it does. Now, when it comes to speed tests, I've noticed in real time, you can watch StarLink connect to a satellite, have a solid connection, and then as it loses that connection, switch off to a different satellite, so the speeds vary a lot, as to expect with most satellite internet. And keep in mind, this is also in beta, so SpaceX is literally saying in the emails they're giving me that, hey, you might see service go down sometimes, and that's why I'm seeing so many different varied results with speed tests. Best case scenario, we were able to clock a 240 megabits per second download, but most of the time it is not that high. I would say it's safe to say you usually get somewhere between 100 and 150, so the numbers that they give you on the website are pretty accurate for download. Upload has been kind of a mixed bag for me, which is a shame because as a content creator who does live streams, upload is very, very important to me, and occasionally I will see it surpass 30, touch 40, and even briefly for a few seconds hit 50, but whenever it comes to that sustained test where they check your upload upload for a prolonged period of time, it usually taps out at around 20 to 25. And for basic tasks like watching YouTube videos, checking email, doing social media, StarLink has been working flawlessly. But it's when doing prolonged tasks that require really consistent connectivity that the beta falls a little bit short. But I think the reason I'm so excited for StarLink is not necessarily because of how it's performing today, but the fact that SpaceX is actively making it better. In fact, if all goes according to schedule, just tomorrow, SpaceX should be sending up another 60 StarLink satellites to improve reliability, and Elon Musk is even saying by the end of this year, they're hoping to double bandwidth speeds entirely. So how many ISPs do you know that are like actively looking at ways of doubling their speeds within the next 12 months? And the main reason I'm super excited for StarLink, even though my last internet provider was giving me gigabit, it's because in the grand scheme of things, StarLink is supposed to basically work anywhere on the planet, which traditional gigabit ISPs can't really say the same thing. So if you're able to go up at any altitude or even go out in the ocean, it doesn't matter if you're out in the woods or you're in a rural community, and know that you can get at least 100 megabits down, this is a literal game changer that especially those who don't have access to adequate internet are super excited for. And it literally hits home for me on a personal level, because right now I live in a place that has decent internet access, but I grew up in a place that was a lot more in the woods and a lot further away from reliable, consistent internet connection. And I was trying to watch YouTube videos, my family was trying to just do more things on the web, but because of where we lived, the internet just sucked and there was really no great alternative. And I lived in that house for the first 19 years of my life, and I was having to drive to friends' houses to upload these YouTube videos. And part of the main reason I moved out of that house was simply because I needed to find a place for my business to upload content with. Now knowing that by the end of this year, you could be anywhere on Earth and theoretically sign up for StarLink and get speeds this good, which are they the fastest speeds we've ever seen in the world? No, but they do allow you to do basic things like watch 4K content and upload videos and actually feel connected to the world despite being further away from ever before. And that's why, even though the speeds may not be amazing or even better than my last internet provider, I'm still pumped to try out StarLink for a while. And of course, I'm excited for more people who are in desperate need of faster internet to try it. I know a lot of them personally, and it's going to allow them to do so much more online, which it's easy to forget. There's still billions of people on Earth that don't have access to internet at all. So coverage with decent speeds matters to me a lot more than a handful of places on Earth with insanely fast speeds that hardly ever get utilized. So first 24 hours though, I do notice it cut off from time to time, which can be a bit annoying. If you're just watching a YouTube video or streaming a movie, it's not that big a deal. Just every 20 to 30 minutes or so, it'll buffer for a few seconds and then come right back. But if you're having a FaceTime call or trying to live stream content, that's when even a 5 to 10 second loss of signal can create quite a few problems. But hey, SpaceX is already working on it. Let's see if it gets better in the coming weeks, as they're already planning multiple more StarLink launches. Thank you all for watching. This is your SpaceX Cheap here. I'll see you in the next one.